Hello, everyone. It's a lesson about how to be polite, how to sound polite in English. And it's being recorded via Zoom. And I'm also here on Hello something. So it's an application to practice languages. So let's begin. Let's find out, are you a polite person? And how can you prove it? So, first, I should explain what it means to be polite. So, being polite means behaving in a way that is socially correct and shows understanding of and care for other people's feelings. So, if we translate to Russian, it means быть вежливым. Polite is вежливый, or a person who behaves socially correctly. So it's connected to etiquette, yeah, to some rules in society, connected to what people expect from us. Yeah, something that we shouldn't do and should do. So let's begin and discuss some questions. So we have questions. I'm not sure if I have any audience now, but if you are watching and listening, please type your answers in the chat. What did your parents do to teach you how to be polite? So, any particular rules, recommendations parents gave you, taught you, yeah? So, how to be polite. Okay. So, hello, Farhan. Okay. So, any rules? How to be polite? What parents usually teach us? Да, чему родители учат нас, каким правилам вежливости? So, I will share my experience. I remember how my sister and me was taught, like we were taught that we should say thank you. Yeah, when someone gave us, for example, sweets or some things, so we always should say thank you. So any other rules that parents teach children about how to be polite? Mhm. So maybe Farhan, you can share. So type in the chat if you do. Yes, I'm from Ukraine. Hello, Nav. Yeah, if I pronounce your name correctly. Okay, so anyone, if you want to share, please type in the chat. What did your parents do to teach you how to be polite? So I already shared that they told me to say thank you. They also maybe scolded me if I didn't say hello or if I didn't use formal or option when I talked to people. Because in Russian language or Ukrainian, people use you, pronoun you can be used for formal discussion and for informal, that ты, вы. But in English, it doesn't exist. So again, that's why we are discussing English today, how to be polite in English, because it doesn't apply to all languages. So etiquette and rules to be polite are different in all languages. Okay, so no one shares. Then let's move on. Next question. What do you do when someone is being rude to you? Rude means грубый in Russian. Yeah, грубый. So if someone is being rude, да, кто-то ведет себя грубо, so what do you do in this situation? Yeah, you can share. So if someone is being rude, what will you do? Oh, thank you. Thank you for complimenting my accent. Yeah. So any options? So for example, what I would do. Just a moment. Yeah, so if someone is being rude to me, I will probably um, try to finish a conversation. Yeah, like leave the room if it's possible. But if it's not possible, I will probably say some phrases like "What do you mean?" Что вы имеете в виду? Or pardon, yeah, to ask person repeat something. Okay. Mm, if you have any ideas what like of actions you do when someone is being rude, please share them in the chat. Now, the last question, does having good manners mean the same in your country and in the English speaking world? So this, I already touched it a little bit because languages are all different and manners, yeah, good manners, they differ from language to language. And as I already mentioned in Russian, as I also know in German, in French, uh, we have different forms, verb forms, and we also have different pronouns. Like in English, there is only pronoun you, but in the languages I mentioned, we have pronoun singular you and plural you or formal you. Also Spanish, yeah, has it as well. So we have usted in Spanish, we have du or sie in German, ты, вы in Russian, and in French, I don't remember. So, but I remember that it exists in French as well. So, and of course, when we talk to people, it's very easy. So if we use formal you in those languages, it's clear that it's a formal conversation. And with strangers, we usually use those forms. And of course, verbs will change corresponding relatively to that form of pronoun. But in English, unfortunately, it doesn't exist. So in English, we can only speak using you, and it can be both formal and informal. So there is no difference about this one. So we should use different options to make our speech formal, yeah, to make our speech sound polite. Because if you talk to stranger, the same way you talk to your relatives or people you know, like your friends, it can sound weird, weird, странно, like strange. So today we are going to discuss what can we do to make our speech sound more polite, more politely. Now, I will ask you some questions. We'll have a test. How polite are you in English? And our first question is, when someone wants to borrow your pen, and we have A, B, C, D options. A, I give it and continue my work. B, I say, sorry, I need it. C, I give it and say, sure, here you are. D, people should have their own things. I never lend anything to anyone. Okay, Baran answered B. I say, sorry, I need it. Okay. Yeah, any other options? So we have, I give it and I don't say anything. I say, sorry, I need it and I don't give it. C, I give it and say, sure, here you are. And D, people should have their own things. I never lend anything to anyone. Lend means when you give someone an object and you wait it to be returned. Yeah, you wait that people will give it back to you after some time. So B, sorry, I need it. Yes, of course we can say that. Yeah, if we don't want to share, if we really need that object, we have only one. But polite option will be C. I give it and say, sure, here you are. And why we say that? Of course, I mean, circumstances can be different. But if we are ready to share, if we are ready to lend a pen, we will say something like, we are really happy to do it, to give it. Even maybe even if we are not very happy, we will say sure, of course, and we will smile and we will say, here you are. So the good thing is, here you are. It's a typical phrase you use when giving something to someone. If you say nothing at all, it's a little bit rude. Yes, that's why option A was a bit rude. I give and continue my work. Yeah, so it's better to say something. So remember this phrase, here you are. Here you are. Okay, next question. Again, we are doing a test. How polite are you in English? Choose the options from the ones I mentioned. Okay, our situation. You are on holiday. You meet on the beach a foreign person who lives in the same hotel. They say, hi, how are you? What is your reaction? So, and we have 4 options. So what's your reaction? I say nothing. I don't know them. Why should I talk to them? So it's option A. B. I say, sorry, my English is bad. C. I say hi and quickly go away. I hate talking to foreigners. D. I say, hi, I'm fine, thanks. And how are you? So what is your option? D. I say hi and quickly go away. Okay. No, D, not C. I say, hi, I'm fine, thanks. And how are you? Yes, that's a great response. So we will probably talk a little bit. So like a small talk. Yeah, we can have a small talk with people. Yeah, so small talk is a typical part of English etiquette. So when person approaches, starts a conversation with you, usually you will have to exchange a few sentences with them. So usually it will be like, how are you? What can I join the small talk? Yeah, you can join, Baran. Just a moment. My name is Kate.
My name said it the right way, the right way. My name is Baran.
Okay, good. So let's move on. You can join and say what you think on our discussion questions. Okay. So our next question. Yeah, you are at an online meeting. One of your foreign colleagues have some connection problems. What do you tell them? 4 options. Your connection is terrible. I don't hear you. Hey, do something with your internet. C. I will say nothing. It's rude. And D. Sorry, I think there are some problems with your connections. I'm afraid I can't hear you.
No, because of your headphone.
Oh, Baran disappeared. I don't know why. Okay. Sorry. So let's move on. Then we have 4 options. So one of your foreign colleagues have some connection problems. Yeah, like what we are experiencing now. Sometimes it happens when you are using phone or laptop. So what do you tell your colleague? So A, your connection is terrible. I don't hear you. B, hey, do something with your internet. C, I will say nothing. It's rude. Or D, sorry, I think there are some problems with your connection. I'm afraid I can't hear you. So, what's our answer? Correct option is D. Sorry, I think there are some problems with your connection. I'm afraid I can't hear you. That's what I would say to Baran. And it's a good set of phrases. If there is a problem, you can always say about it, but just don't forget about polite expressions like I'm sorry, I think, or I'm afraid. Hello, thank you for subscription. Yeah, I'm conducting a lesson about how to be polite in English, and my name is Katerina. So, yeah, when there is particular problem, we usually start our sentence with I'm sorry or I'm afraid, and then we go on. So I'm afraid I can't hear you. So after I'm afraid, you add like what the problem is. So even if you don't feel any guilt, yeah, like it's not your problem, you anyway you say sorry in English. So this is yeah what we usually say. Our next question. Again, it's a quiz. So how polite are you in English? Choose the best option. Here's our situation. You came for dinner with a local family while being on a trip in Asia. You don't really like Asian food, but you couldn't say so. After a dinner, one of your foreign friends asked how it was. What do you say? You came for dinner with a local family while being on a trip in Asia. You don't really like Asian food, but you couldn't say so. After a dinner, one of your foreign friends asked how it was. What do you say? So you didn't like Asian food, but you don't want to say so. What will you say? Option A. Not good. I don't like Asian food, to be honest. Ukrainian dishes are the best. B. Oh, it was okay, but I like hamburgers more. C. Terrible. I think I got food poisoning. And D. Oh, I don't usually eat Asian food, but the dinner was great. There were so many exotic vegetables, and the family was really nice. So, I think now you are a bit prepared for what will be the best answer. So, any options in the chat? So, A, B, C, or D. So, A, not good. I don't like Asian food. B, oh, it was okay, but I like hamburgers more. C, terrible. I think I got food poisoning. Food poisoning means that you ate something bad and you are afraid that you will vomit or you will have problems with your stomach. D. Oh, I don't usually eat Asian food, but the dinner was great. There were so many exotic vegetables, and the family was really nice. So I don't see any options in the chat, so I will just reveal the correct answer. The correct answer is D. And why we answer this? So even if you don't really like something or don't understand some other cultures, you show yourself as a very unkind person if you speak openly about it. So in English, it's a no-no. Instead, there is always something positive that you can speak about. Friendliness of people, some parts of dishes, beautiful plates, etc. So try to find something positive and talk about it. Uh, Probably you already know that English culture and like American culture is a bit hypocritical. So people usually don't behave honestly. They don't show their real emotions. And we need to adapt to this and be the same because if we don't behave like that, people can be really offended. So they will feel that they did something wrong. We are strange people. Maybe they won't have a desire to communicate with us later. So please try to find something positive, talk about it, try not to behave, yeah, like that you, I don't know, unfriendly person. Yeah, don't say something bad. Yeah, usually we don't mention any bad things, even if they happened. Yeah, so we don't say it. So you can, yeah, notice how what we said in our response. Oh, I don't usually eat Asian food. Yeah, so I don't usually eat it. So it's like shows that you are not very experienced in this field. But the dinner was great. So you didn't like it, but you say it was great. Or it was lovely. It was awesome. Yeah, you say something positive. And then you say, there were so many exotic vegetables and the family was really nice. Yeah. So like you give a compliment, if not to food, if you don't want to be hypocritical, you say the family was really nice. Yeah. The people were so friendly. The conversation was so engaging. So you try to find something positive and say it. Yeah, so you don't say that you like hamburgers more. It's not a good idea to mention what you really like. And of course, you don't say about your country's food. Okay, let's move on. Next question. To understand how polite are you in English? Choose the best option. So here is our situation. You are on a tour around Europe. There are a lot of tourists everywhere. A couple of tourists comes to you and asks where the nearest bus station is. What do you answer? Yeah, so tourists ask you about nearest bus station. Your options. You can type the right one in the chat. A, I don't know. I'm not from here. B, I say, I don't know and quickly walk away. C, why are you asking me? There are a lot of other people around. D, sorry, I'm afraid I can't help you. I'm not from here. So what is the most polite response? A, I don't know, I'm not from here. B, I say I don't know and quickly walk away. C, why asking me? There are a lot of other people around. D, sorry, I'm afraid I can't help you. I'm not from here. So any other any options what you can answer in this situation? So I would choose the last one, D, and it's the correct one. So again, you say sorry, even like it's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong, but you cannot help these people. So you say sorry, I'm afraid I can't help you. Yeah, you don't say I don't know. Yeah, you don't say it straight away. You say sorry, I'm afraid I can't help you. I'm not from here. Yeah, you explain why. So the first option was almost the same. I don't know, I'm not from here. But polite option was sorry, I'm afraid I can't help you. I'm not from here. Yeah, so you give an explanation. And yeah, so just say that you cannot help. And if you just say I don't know, it can sound rude. So please give some extra words to make your speech polite. Next question. You are at a business meeting. One of the foreign colleagues often interrupts you when you are trying to speak. What do you say? So you are talking and someone says, oh yeah, I know this. So interruption, да, прерывать. It means when another person butts in all the time and they are talking when you haven't finished what you were saying. So imagine the situation. You are talking, you are giving a speech, and someone constantly interrupts you. What do you say? Options A, B, C, and D. So A, nothing. I don't know what to say. B, hey, you, don't interrupt. C, be quiet when I'm speaking. D, let me finish, please. So this is an interesting quiz. So again, for those who just joined, it's a lesson about how to be polite in English, how to sound polite. My name is Kate, and we are discussing how polite are you in English. So what will you say in a situation? You're at a business meeting. One of the foreign colleagues often interrupts you when you are trying to speak. What do you say? Yeah, so you're trying to speak, and a colleague constantly like say, oh yeah, let me I know about this one. Yeah, so and you cannot finish. So how will you react? A, nothing, I don't know what to say. B, hey you, don't interrupt. C, be quiet, I am speaking. Be quiet when I'm speaking. And D, let me finish, please. So what is the option? So any options in the chat, you can write a letter if you want. And the correct one is the last one. Let me finish, please. So why isn't it good to say, hey, don't interrupt? Yeah, so it's logical, especially if you're Russian speaking or maybe like in some other languages. Imperative form is usually what will be used. But in English, it's really rude to use imperatives. For example, be quiet, don't interrupt me. Yeah, it's really rude. Even if you think that these people should do it. So remember about phrases like excuse me please, or can you, or could you. So you can say something like if you ask someone to open the window, you can say, can you open the window please. So this is how you change imperative into polite version. But here we say, let me finish, please. Yeah, so let me finish, please. So always add please at the end of your phrase. It will give you at least a little bit chance to sound more polite. Yeah, a little chance to sound more polite. So don't use imperatives. Let's move on. Let's learn some strategies how to be polite. It's not cool to say, give me the book, send me the report. Yeah, so like imperative forms are impolite. So you don't just say a verb like what you want person to do. Instead, you say, can you give me the book, please? Yeah, can you give me the book, please? Could you send me the report, please? So you use a modal verb and please. So these words will turn phrases into polite requests. So instead of imperative, like give me, send me, you say, can you give me? Could you send me? And then you finish with please. So just these, like a few words more, and you sound more polite. So this is the first strategy. Turn imperatives into questions with modal verbs. Modal verb is can, could, it sometimes would. So they make the sentences sound better and not so rude and direct. And now let's practice. So I tell you the phrase, and you tell how we transform it into more polite version. Close the door. So how will you say it to make it more polite? Close the door. So instead of using imperative, how can you change it? So using the strategy on the screen, turn imperative into a phrase, a question with a modal verb, and type it in the chat, please. So close the door, and can you say something more like that will sound better? I will give you an example. So close the door, you transform into can you close the door, please? Or could you close the door, please? Okay, so you add modal, could you or can you? Then you say the same, close the door, and you finish with please. Could you close the door, please? Or can you close the door, please? Okay. Another question, another question. Write this word on the board. So please type in the chat. Write this word on the board. Polite version. What is more polite version of this? Write this word on the board. So what will you say instead of that? You can type in the chat, and I will also reveal the answer in a second. So write this word on the board. And instead of that, you can say, could you write this word on the board, please? Yeah, again, you substitute imperative with a question where you use modal verb, can or could. Could you write this word on the board, please? Okay, next one, stand up. Stand up, yeah, stand up. What we can add to make it more polite. Stand up turns into, can you stand up, please? Or could you stand up, please? So can you stand up, please? And the last one, read this. Read this. So how can you make it more polite? Read this, or we can say, can you read this, please? Yeah. Can you read this, please? So it's our first strategy. Turn imperatives into questions with modal verbs. Let's move on. One more thing about can and could. Any differences between can and could? Maybe someone knows. What's the difference between can and could? So, could is a little bit more formal and polite. So it's almost the same verb. Actually, could is in the past. In Russian, there is also a phrase "не могли бы вы." Да? So can это мочь. Yeah, it's like ability. Yeah, if you are able to do something. Could is past form of the same verb. So can you help me? For example, can you help me? It means вы можете мне помочь in Russian. But if you say could you help me? Then it means не могли бы вы мне помочь? So it's almost the same, but even in Russian, if you compare those two phrases, the second sounds more polite because you use past form. So actually, if we like a little like sidetrack from the topic, to sound more polite in English, usually you distance yourself and the speaker or your listener. You distance, and what can add some distance? More words, past tenses, some additional verbs. They can add kind of a distance between you and your listener. And this is what we do, adding those additional words and making those structures longer and a bit more complicated. So it like gives a bit more space between you and your listener. Okay, let's move on. Our next strategy. So it's not cool to say, I want some coffee or I need to come later tomorrow. So I need sound too direct. Да, как в лоб мы спрашиваем. So to make it better, to make it cool, sound cool, you can say, I'd like some coffee or may I come later tomorrow? So we can add some additional verbs or modals. I'd like something is a more polite form to express your wishes. I'd like is a short option of I would like. I would like. So we usually say I'd like. I'd like some coffee. Yeah. I'd like, I don't know, a cigarette, for example, if you smoke. And then may I? May I come later tomorrow? Again, we add may. We can also say can. Again, it makes our request more polite when you ask something or when you ask for permission. Permission is when person says yes or no. So when you need to ask for permission, you can use this structure. So now let's practice, and below you can see sentences that are not very polite. Let's transform them into polite questions or phrases. I need one more pen. So what can you say to make it sound better? I need one more pen. You can type in the chat. So any options? I need one more pen. So I need, you can transform it into a question. So you can say, may I have one more pen? Yeah? May I have one more pen? Next one, I need to skip the next class. Again, I need to, we transform into may. Yeah. So may I skip the next class? Yeah. May I skip the next class? Or can I skip? You can also say, can I skip? Skip means when you won't attend. Yeah. Skip means пропустить. Okay, next, I want less homework. I want less homework. So it's not very good to say that. What can you say instead? I want, we can transform into I'd like, yeah? I'd like less homework. I would like less homework. Okay, and you can also say, I'd like to have less homework. Yeah, you can add one more verb. As I mentioned, the more verbs you use, the better you sound. And the last one, I want to see your report. I want to see your report. So you can say instead, I'd like to see your report. I'd like to see your report. So these are some structures that you can use to sound more politely. Let's move on. Next strategy. So it's not good to say phrases like, I'm busy. No, I can't help you. I don't agree. Try not to be too direct. Direct, yes, so like when you say what you think or when you say what you want. It's basically being too direct. Avoid generalizations using words like all, everyone, no one. Yeah, like no one knows what you are talking about. Everyone is busy or something like that. So instead, say some extra, like add some extra words. For example, I'm busy, we can transform into sorry, I'm a bit busy right now. Yeah, so here we added sorry. As I mentioned before, sorry you add to make particular phrases sound a bit softer, even though like you are not guilty. Yeah, you didn't do anything wrong, but you say that to show that like you care. Yeah, you don't want to offend a person. So you say sorry, and then you say, I'm a bit busy right now. It doesn't matter how busy you are, you say a bit again to make this phrase sound a bit softer. So I'm a bit busy right now. So like you make it a bit less severe, less problematic, and it sounds a bit better, a bit more natural to what English speakers would say. Another phrase, no, I can't help you. Again, instead of saying it directly, you say, I'm afraid I can't help you. Or I don't agree. Again, you can say, I'm afraid I don't agree. Or I guess I don't fully agree. So use language softeners to make your message more polite. It's what I mentioned. Yeah, explaining those transformations. Of course, there are other ways how to what you can say uh, to make your speech better. There are many options, but I just show you some of them. Sometimes you can say absolutely different phrase, but this is how to make what you already can say sound better, sound politely. And also, you should know below, yeah, there is a rule. The more words in a message, the more polite it is. You don't have to use super difficult phrases, but some simple softeners would help you sound more polite. So, what kind of softeners can you use? Let me move our. Yeah, so now you should be able to see them. You can use words like I'm afraid, I'm sorry, but I think, I guess, in my opinion, and also words like a bit, kind of, quite or not quite, a little. So these words can make your phrase sound polite. So, and if you want such like a list of such phrases and tips, you can always message me. I will send you a link to the recording of today's lesson and also the list of words or phrases and strategies that can help you to sound like with like politeness, yeah, in English. So you can message me, yeah, or go to my website katyshelley.com and find it there. Okay, now let's practice. Let's use this strategy to make the sentences more polite. So what can you say instead? I'm tired. I'm tired. What options can we use to make it better? I'm tired is a bit too direct. What can we say instead? So use softeners. Yeah, use something that we discussed. You can type it in the chat. Okay, so the answer is I think I'm a bit tired. Or I'm sorry, yeah, I'm a bit tired. I'm afraid I'm a bit tired. Yeah, so actually any of these can be correct. I don't have time now. So what can you say instead? I don't have time now. So how to make this phrase more polite? I don't have time now. So you can add a few more words and it will be, I'm afraid I don't have time now. Sorry for that. Yeah, so sorry for that. Again, you usually say sorry, even if you are not sorry, even if you are not guilty. Yeah, it's fine. You just say it to sound more polite. Okay. So just a moment. Okay. Next one. I have a better idea. I have a better idea. And how can we make it better, this phrase? So I guess I have a slightly better idea. So again, you add I guess, and then to make it a bit softer, you say not just I have a better idea, I have a slightly better idea. Okay, next one. You don't understand my point. So how can you transform it so it sounds more polite? You don't understand my point. Yeah, it's too direct. You need to transform it. You don't understand my point. I'm afraid you don't fully understand my point. Yeah, this is what we can say instead. Next one. Everyone knows about it. Yeah, I mentioned generalizations are not good. So everyone, yeah, everyone knows about it. Not a good option to say. So you say, in my opinion, many people know about it. Yeah, in my opinion, many people know about it. So you add in my opinion, and then you change everyone into many people. But I would say it's very close. Yeah, I would probably just didn't. I wouldn't just say this phrase at all. Or maybe I would just, depending on the context, I would change. I would say something different. And the last one, all people in Ukraine like borscht. So again, all people, yeah, it's a generalization. So we can say, I think a lot of people in Ukraine like borscht. So we don't say like everyone, all. We say, I think a lot of people, yeah, or many people like borscht. Okay, let's move on. And now we have another strategy to help you sound uh, more polite. So some phrases that are not very good. This is a bad idea. I think he's stupid. I hate pop music. So we probably all know that English is quite positive. Like people try to keep some positive attitude towards everyone and everything. So that's why you should avoid negative words. They make you sound too direct and impolite. So, like, bad idea, they are stupid, I hate. It's not very good words to say, they are negative. So instead, you can say, I guess this is not a very good idea. Or, I think he's not a very smart person. Or, I'm afraid I don't really like pop music. So again, use language softeners, more polite synonyms. So negative word, you transform into not very and positive word. So it sounds much better and less rude. So now let's make some sentences more polite. He is strange. Yeah, strange is a negative word or weird. Yeah, of course you can say that, but our Goal is to make it sound polite. So, he is strange, we can transform into, in my opinion, he's a bit strange, or in my opinion, he's a bit unusual. Yeah, so a bit better, but still maybe not the best thing to say. People in this country are poor. Poor. Yeah, people in this country are poor. So how can you change it into better option? People in this country are not very rich. Yeah, so you use positive word rich instead of poor, and you add not very. Yeah, people in this country are not very rich. Of course, it depends on the context. If, for example, we talk about people who are starving in Africa, maybe it's a bit strange to say like that. But again, English language, like all structures there, tend to sound a bit exaggerated, a bit too positive, and it can annoy sometimes. Yeah, but I mean, of course, we should know what we're talking about. I don't like Indian food. So it's not really bad. Yeah, I don't like Indian food, but we can make it a little bit better. We can say, I don't really like. Yeah, I don't really like Indian food. I'm afraid. Yeah, again, you add the softener. I don't really like Indian food. I'm afraid. Or you can say, I'm afraid I don't really like Indian food. This is a terrible movie. Yeah, terrible is a negative word. You need to change it into something better. This is a terrible movie. Not good. In my opinion, this is not a very good movie. Yeah, so this is what we can say to make it better. And next one. His jokes are not funny. The room is very dirty. So his jokes are not funny, not funny. Uh, Not the best option. You can make it even better. I guess his jokes are not very funny. Not very funny, yeah. And I guess his jokes are not very funny. And next one, the room is very dirty. The room is not very clean. Yeah, so you can say like that. So try to substitute negative words with more positive ones. Okay, let's move on. Some practice. So I'm not sure if we have any listeners, maybe not at the moment. So then it will be your homework. Make the sentences below more polite. Yeah, you can see some phrases. Please, if you've watched this lesson, uh, leave a comment, go to my Telegram channel and leave a comment there under the recording of this lesson, and I will give you some, uh, yeah, like feedback on. Oh, hello, Rose. Yeah, so we are almost at the end of the lesson, so I will just quickly recap the strategies I was sharing with you, and I want to remind you that my name is Katerina, and I have a website, ketisheli.com. I am Russian speaking, but I also publish information in English sometimes, so I will be sharing my recording on my website, on my YouTube channel, Ketisheli English, and on my Telegram channel, which is the same name, Katie Shelley English. So, and you can watch the recording because it's a lesson I am conducting via Zoom. And all the tips, strategies I shared today will be there. So please message me, like if you are on Hello Talk, just message me and I will share the link with you as soon as the recording is finished and the tips are all posted. So I will be happy to share some strategies how you can be more polite in English. And the homework will be to make the sentences more polite. What we discussed today. There are many different strategies how you can sound more polite. First, you can add some phrases, yeah, to your phrase, like some phrases, word combinations to what you are saying. For example, you can say words like please, sorry. Also, you can add some phrases like I'm afraid, yeah, or I'm sorry. So it's a bit better. Even if you are not guilty, even if you didn't do anything wrong, still you say sorry, I'm afraid, etc. Instead of imperatives, you say phrases with modal verbs. Like instead of give me, you say can you give me or could you give me. Then instead of, just a moment. Instead of words like I want or I need, you can say I'd like. I want some coffee. I'd like some coffee. Or I need to come later. You say, may I come later tomorrow? So try to avoid words like I want or I need. So, and next one, don't use direct phrases like I'm busy, I can't help you, I don't agree. Say something before and at the end. Sorry, I'm a bit busy. I'm afraid I can't help you. I'm afraid I don't agree. Or I guess I don't fully agree. So you can also use softeners. Softeners can be words like I'm afraid, I'm sorry, I think, I guess, or in my opinion, and also a little words before adjectives, for example, or before verbs. A bit, kind of, quite or not quite, a little. So, and what else? I think that's almost everything. Yeah, and try to avoid negative words like bad, stupid, hate. Try to change them into positive ones with a negative particle. Like instead of this is a bad idea, I guess this is not a very good idea. Yeah, try to use something like that. Okay, that's it for me today. I know I didn't cover everything, yeah, but you can add some of the ideas. So, what else can you say or do to be more polite in English?